I need you to take a moment and be brutally honest with yourself. Look at where you are. Look at what you've done and look at where you want to be. The truth is, you know deep down that talent alone is not enough. You know that motivation comes and goes. You know that opportunities don't wait forever. You know that the only thing standing between where you are now and where you could be is one simple, terrifying word: commitment. Commitment is what separates those who dream from those who live their dreams. It is what separates people who talk about change from people who create it. It is the invisible force that turns ordinary, capable, sometimes even talented people into unstoppable machines. And right now, I want you to feel it inside you. The spark, the fire, the hunger. But I want you to ask yourself, are you willing to turn that spark into a wildfire? Are you willing to lock in, to stay relentless, to push beyond every excuse, fear, and distraction that has held you back for too long? You see, most people start with energy, with fire, with a plan, but life doesn't wait for your schedule, your comfort, or your excuses. Life will test you, challenge you, and try to break you at every turn. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not luck. It's not intelligence. It's not talent. It's not even opportunity. It is the decision to stay committed, to take ownership of every choice, to fight through every setback, and to refuse to quit when every fiber of your body wants to give in. Commitment is uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. It asks you to go harder than you've ever gone, to endure more than you think you can, to keep moving when it seems like the world is against you. But it's the only thing that creates results. Nothing else matters. Nothing else lasts. I want you to imagine the version of yourself that never gave up. The one who refused to quit when it got hard, who showed up every day, who took ownership of their life, who endured when no one was watching, who kept pushing when everyone else walked away. Imagine that person. Imagine how strong, how confident, how unstoppable they are. That person isn't some fantasy. That person is already inside you, waiting for you to unlock them. That is the power of commitment. That is the force that can turn your dreams into reality, your potential into results, your vision into a life so extraordinary that anyone who doubts you now will be left speechless. But it starts with a choice, a decision, and a promise to yourself that no matter what happens, you will stay in the fight. You will stay relentless. You will stay committed. And right now, this is where it begins. The moment you understand that commitment is not optional, that it is not a suggestion, that it is not a temporary feeling, but a permanent mindset, a non-negotiable standard and a lifestyle, you begin to change everything. Your excuses, your doubts, your fears, they all lose power. The moment you decide that your commitment will never waver, your journey will be tested. You will be pushed to your limits. You will feel pain, frustration, and exhaustion. But if you embrace commitment, if you lock in fully, if you refuse to quit, you will discover something incredible. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop a person who refuses to stop. This is your moment, your time, your mind, your life. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will not just feel motivated. You will feel unstoppable, unshakable, and ready to commit to the life you were always meant to live. That commitment is often misunderstood. People think commitment is something you feel, like a wave of inspiration that hits you in the morning and keeps you going for the rest of your life. They wait for that perfect moment when motivation is high, when energy is overflowing, when the world seems to align in their favor. But that moment rarely comes. The truth is, commitment is not a feeling. It is a decision, a conscious choice you make over and over again, regardless of how you feel in that very moment. It is a declaration to yourself that your goal is bigger than your excuses, stronger than your doubts, and more important than your comfort. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness in this world did not wait to feel like showing up. They decided to show up even when they didn't, to feel like it. Even when the world was against them, even when pain, fear, and distraction were louder than their dreams. Commitment is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. But that bridge is built with choices, not feelings. Every day you wake up, you are presented with options. You can stay in bed, comfortable and safe, or you can get up and fight for your goals. You can indulge in the temporary pleasures that distract you from your purpose, or you can push through discomfort and stay focused on what matters. Commitment is choosing the latter every single day, regardless of whether your mind or body is willing to cooperate. Your emotions will betray you. Some days you will wake up tired, overwhelmed, discouraged, or scared. Some days the fire in your chest will feel dim, and the weight of responsibility will make you question if it's worth it. That is when commitment matters most. When you lean on feelings alone, you will fail more often than you succeed. Motivation is fleeting. It comes in bursts and it leaves without warning. But when you make commitment your default, you are unstoppable. When commitment becomes your identity, it carries you through the dark, lonely, and exhausting moments where most people quit. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary success. They didn't get there because they woke up feeling inspired every single morning. They got there because they decided to be relentless, to show up, to do the work, and to keep moving forward when no one else believed in them, when no one was cheering, and when it felt impossible. Commitment is a choice to continue when the natural instinct is to stop. It is a choice to keep building, keep learning, keep grinding, keep growing, keep believing, even when there is no immediate reward. The market, the crowd, and the circumstances do not owe you success. Life does not wait for you to feel ready. You either commit or you remain stagnant, watching others pass you by, wondering why you didn't have what it takes. And the painful truth is, the only reason most people never reach their potential is because they never make the choice to commit. They wait for the feeling, for the excitement, for the magic to arrive. That magic will never arrive on its own. You have to create it with your decisions, with your discipline, with your refusal to quit. Commitment also requires accountability to yourself. It is saying, I will do what I said I would do, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when it hurts. It is a personal vow that your actions will align with your ambitions, no matter the circumstances. And here's the thing, no one else can make this choice for you. You cannot rely on others to push you when you have not yet chosen to push yourself. No mentor, no friend, no coach, and no external factor can substitute for your decision to commit. That choice is yours alone. It is intimate, personal, and life-changing. And the moment you understand that, your mindset shifts. You realize that excuses are meaningless. You realize that waiting for motivation is a trap. You realize that your life will only change the moment you decide that your purpose, your vision, and your goals are worth more than comfort, fear, and temporary satisfaction. There is another aspect of this truth that people ignore. Commitment is a practice, not a one-time event. It is not a single decision you make once and then forget. It is a repeated choice, moment after moment, action after action. Each time you decide to get up early instead of sleeping in, to work instead of scrolling, to push through pain instead of quitting, you reinforce your commitment. It compounds. Each choice strengthens the muscle of discipline. Each victory fuels your confidence. Each setback tests your resilience. And eventually, commitment becomes a habit, a part of your identity, something that no storm, no distraction, and no doubt can shake. But it all starts with a single decision: to stop waiting for a feeling and start choosing action. The day you understand that commitment is a choice is the day your life changes forever. When you face challenges, the moments when quitting seems easier than continuing, remind yourself you are not relying on feelings. You are relying on your decision, your discipline, your dedication, your refusal to give up. That is what separates those who achieve from those who merely dream. And here's the most powerful part. Once you choose to omit, you become unstoppable. Because life will challenge you. People will doubt you. Obstacles will rise in front of you. Pain will strike and fear will scream, but your decision does not waver. Commitment is a shield against the chaos of life. It is your internal force that says, I will finish, I will endure, I will rise, no matter what. It is the fire that burns brighter than fear, doubt, or fatigue. It is the unshakable promise you make to yourself that your goals are worth fighting for, no matter how hard it gets. So never wait for the feeling. Never wait for inspiration, motivation, or the perfect moment. Decide, choose, declare your commitment to yourself, to your vision, to your future. Stand up when you don't feel like it. Work when you are tired. Persist when the world tells you no. Show up when everyone else walks away. That is what commitment truly is. A choice, a declaration, a lifestyle. And when you live this way, when you consistently choose commitment over convenience, action over comfort, persistence over procrastination, your life will transform. You will achieve more than you ever imagined, overcome challenges you never thought possible, and build a future that others only dream of. Commitment is not a feeling. It is the choice that makes dreams inevitable. Sacrifice is the language of those who achieve greatness. If you want to accomplish something extraordinary, something that others only dream about, you must understand that there is a cost. That cost is called sacrifice. And it is the inescapable price of commitment. You cannot have success, achievement, or mastery without giving up something along the way. Comfort, leisure, distractions, excuses, and the temporary pleasures of life. These are the things that stand between you and the reality of your goals. And make no mistake, life will tempt you constantly to choose the easy path. Every day, the world will whisper to you, rest, relax, procrastinate, indulge, delay, make excuses. But commitment demands that you answer differently. It demands that you say no to temporary satisfaction in order to say yes to long-term success. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is rarely talent, opportunity, or luck. It is willingness to sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a one-time decision. It is a daily, continuous choice. Every day presents opportunities to give in to comfort or to endure discomfort. Every day you will be faced with a moment when it is easier to quit than to push, to scroll instead of study, to sleep instead of rise early, to distract yourself instead of work on your purpose. The people who achieve greatness are not those who avoid temptation. They are those who embrace the struggle and understand that sacrifice is not punishment, it is investment. They understand that every hour spent on their goal, every disciplined exercise, every choice to say no to temporary pleasure is a deposit in the bank of their future. Sacrifice is the currency of achievement. Without it, your dreams will remain just dreams, floating in the air, untouchable, unreachable, invisible. Sacrifice is also deeply personal. It is different for everyone because each person has unique distractions, comforts, and attachments. For some, it might mean working while everyone else is socializing, while friends go out and relax. For others, it might mean missing out on luxuries, indulgences, or even personal relationships that are not aligned with their vision. You will face judgment. People will call you selfish, extreme, or unbalanced, and they will not understand why you deny yourself what they see as normal. But here's the truth. The world rewards those who prioritize purpose over comfort, who understand that greatness requires endurance, discipline, and the willingness to give up now so that you can gain more later. Every successful person has had to make choices that felt uncomfortable, unpopular, and even painful in the moment. Those choices separated them from the crowd, elevated them above mediocrity, and carved the path toward their ultimate goals. Sacrifice is also about discipline over desire. Desire is fleeting. It changes with mood, circumstance, and environment. Discipline is consistent. It is steadfast, unshaken by temporary feelings. To stay committed, you must learn to deny the small, immediate gratification in favor of the long-term reward. You must choose the gym over the couch, the extra hour of study over social media, the delayed pleasure of indulgence over the lasting satisfaction of achievement. This is not easy. The human mind is built to seek comfort, to avoid pain, to procrastinate. That is why most people never make it. They choose the easy path, and that path leads to regret. Those who succeed understand that discomfort is temporary, but regret lasts forever. They understand that sacrifice today leads to freedom tomorrow, and that comfort in the present is the enemy of greatness. Sacrifice is also tested in the storms of life. You will have moments when everything seems against you. Your energy will run low, your motivation will vanish, and your circumstances will scream at you to quit. This is the ultimate test of commitment. True sacrifice is not just giving up a little leisure here or there. It is giving up your comfort, your certainty, your pride, and even your ego to continue pursuing what you know is right for your future. The more you are willing to give up now, the more unstoppable you become later. Every setback, every failure, every uncomfortable moment is a test of your willingness to sacrifice. If you can endure, you grow stronger. If you quit, you remain small, limited by your own fear of discomfort. Sacrifice is the pathway through the storm. It is what transforms struggle into power, pain into strength, and challenges into opportunities. Another aspect of sacrifice is that it teaches value. When you give up something, when you push through discomfort, when you deny yourself what is easy, begin to appreciate what you gain. People who achieve without struggle often fail to value their accomplishments. But when you sacrifice, every victory becomes sweeter. Every success feels earned. Every goal achieved carries meaning. Sacrifice creates gratitude, humility, and resilience. It trains your mind to respect effort, to honor discipline, and to understand that nothing worthwhile comes without payment. And this understanding becomes a cycle. The more you sacrifice, the stronger your commitment grows. The stronger your commitment grows, the more you are willing to sacrifice. And the more you are willing to sacrifice, the greater your results become. Sacrifice is also about priorities. It forces you to decide what truly matters and what does not. You cannot chase every opportunity, please every person, or indulge every desire and still reach your highest potential. Sacrifice clarifies your focus. It eliminates distractions. It demands that you put your goals above temporary comfort, your vision above fleeting pleasure, and your mission above trivial complaints. Those who understand sacrifice are unstoppable because they have aligned their actions with their priorities, and they are unwilling to be swayed by the noise of the world. And finally, sacrifice is empowering. Many people view sacrifice as a loss, as something negative, as deprivation. But it is actually the key to freedom. The more you are willing to sacrifice now, the fewer things can control you later. The more you endure, the stronger you become. The more discipline you exercise, the more unstoppable you become. Sacrifice is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the shaping of your character, the forging of your resilience, the creation of your legacy. Those who embrace sacrifice discover that life does not defeat them. They become the force that life bends around. They learn that every moment of discomfort endured today becomes a foundation of strength tomorrow. So if you want to achieve, if you want to excel, if you want to rise above the ordinary, you must understand this. There is no greatness without sacrifice. There is no commitment without giving up. There is no vision realized without the willingness to endure discomfort, delay gratification, and stay disciplined when everything in your body is screaming to quit. Sacrifice is not optional. It is required. It is the price of your dreams, the toll of your goals, the cost of your future. Every day you have a choice: comfort or greatness, ease or excellence, momentary pleasure or lasting achievement. The question is simple. Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you need most? Are you ready to endure, to persist, to stay committed, even when it hurts, even when it is lonely, even when it feels unfair? If the answer is yes, then you are on the path to extraordinary. If the answer is no, then you will live in the cycle of regret, always wondering what could have been sacrifice. Ice is the lifeblood of commitment. It is the invisible force that separates the dreamers from the doers, the ordinary from the exceptional, the weak from the unstoppable. Every choice to deny comfort today is an investment in your power tomorrow. Every moment you endure, every pain you push through, every luxury you delay is a step closer to the life you envision. It is not easy, it is not convenient, and it is not popular, but it is necessary. Sacrifice is not about what you lose, it is about what you gain. It is the path to freedom, mastery, and ultimate success. The more you embrace it, the more unbreakable you become, the more inevitable your results. Remember this: commitment demands sacrifice, and sacrifice is the price that separates those who achieve from those who merely dream. Pay the price. Stay disciplined. Stay relentless. Stay committed. Talent is celebrated, admired, and praised, but talent alone does not win battles, build empires, or create legacies. Talent is a gift, yes, but it is fleeting, fragile, and meaningless without action. Many people are blessed with natural ability, intelligence, skill, or opportunity, yet they fail to achieve greatness because they misunderstand the power of consistency. Consistency is what transforms potential into reality, dreams into results, and ideas into accomplishments. You could have every skill in the world, the sharpest mind, the fastest hands, the strongest body, and the most creative vision. But if you do not show up every day, if you do not put in the work consistently, your talent becomes wasted potential. Consistency is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And it is more powerful than talent in every measurable way. Talent may give you a head start, but it is consistency that carries you across the finish line. Talent will open doors for you, but consistency will make you walk through them step by step, day after day, even when progress is slow, invisible, or frustrating. Consistency is the unglamorous, invisible work done behind closed doors, the hours nobody notices, the effort that is never rewarded with instant applause. Talent shines in a moment, but consistency builds momentum, and momentum compounds into unstoppable force. Talent can get you attention. Consistency gets you results. Talent can make people admire you temporarily. Consistency makes people respect you permanently. Talent without consistency is like a car with a full tank of gas, but no driver. Full of potential energy, but going nowhere. Consistency requires discipline, patience, and endurance. It is not enough to perform when inspiration strikes. True achievement comes from performing when you do not feel like it. When fatigue has set in, when motivation has left, and when distractions are loudest. That is the defining quality that separates the average from the extraordinary. Consistency is about showing up even when no one believes in you, even when the world doubts you, and even when your own mind whispers that it is too hard. It is about taking small, repeated actions, each one seemingly insignificant on its own, but together forming a force too powerful to ignore. Every great person you admire has one thing in common. They mastered the art of showing up over and over, no matter what. Their talent was amplified by consistency, and that is what made them unstoppable. Consistency also beats talent because it trains the mind, body, and spirit to endure. Talent alone cannot withstand failure, rejection, or obstacles. Talent can be derailed by self-doubt, lack of preparation, or complacency. Consistency builds resilience. When you are consistent, you develop habits that reinforce your growth. You learn to endure, to adapt, and to push through challenges. You learn to turn failure into fuel rather than letting it defeat you. You learn that results are rarely instant, that progress is often slow, and that mastery is earned over time. Talent might give you a quick win, but consistency ensures lasting victory. The person who is slightly less talented but consistent will always outperform the person with immense talent who shows up sporadically, inconsistently, or only when it is convenient. Consider the power of repetition. Consistency is the engine of mastery. The more you practice, the more you refine, the more you push, the stronger, smarter, and more skilled you become. Talent might get you noticed for a moment, but consistent practice turns that talent into skill. ND skill into excellence. Consistency compounds in ways talent alone cannot. Small daily actions build habits. Habits create routines. Routines develop character, and character determines destiny. Every time you choose to show up, even when it is hard, you are investing in yourself, in your growth, and in your eventual success. Those who fail to understand this often believe they are unlucky or untalented. But the truth is simple. They lack consistency. They stop too soon. They give up too early. They rely on bursts of effort rather than sustained action. And in the end, consistency always wins. Consistency also teaches humility and patience. Talent can make a person arrogant because results come quickly, often without the effort required to sustain them. But consistency forces you to endure, to work, to fight every day. And in doing so, it humbles you. It reminds you that nothing worth achieving happens overnight. Every day you put in the work, every hour you dedicate, every effort you make reinforces the understanding that success is a journey, not an event. Those who embrace consistency learn to respect the process. They understand that greatness is built gradually, one step at a time, and they are willing to endure the grind, the setbacks, and the slow progress because they know that every moment of consistent effort brings them closer to mastery. Another powerful aspect of consistency is its impact on confidence. Talent might give you the initial boost, but it is company, insistent effort that builds unshakable self-belief. When you know that you show up no matter what, when you know that you put in the work day after day, you develop an inner certainty that cannot be shaken by failure, doubt, or criticism. You no longer rely on external validation, applause, or recognition because you have proven to yourself that you are relentless. Confidence is forged in repetition, in endurance, in the unglamorous grind of consistent action. Talent without consistency may shine for a moment, but it fades under pressure. Consistency creates the steel of the mind, the endurance of the body, and the unwavering belief that you can overcome any challenge. Consistency also gives you leverage over the competition. Most people quit too early, give up too easily, or show up only when it is convenient. That is why so many talented people never reach their full potential. They rely solely on their gifts and fail to persist when the work becomes hard. You, on the other hand, who commits to consistency, have an edge. Every day you do the work while others rest. Every moment you push while others procrastinate. Every step you take while others waver compounds into results that leave everyone else behind. Consistency is like a secret weapon. It multiplies your talent, amplifies your effort, and turns persistence into inevitability. You do not have to be the most talented to dominate. You just have to be the most consistent. Finally, consistency is empowering because it teaches ownership. When you commit to showing up every day, you take responsibility for your own growth and your own destiny. You stop blaming luck, circumstance, or external factors. You understand that your results are the product of your choices, your habits, and your persistence. Consistency puts you in control of your life. It is not about waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for opportunity, or waiting for motivation. It is about creating your own momentum, building your own foundation, and shaping your own future. The person who masters consistency does not hope for success. They earn it day by day, moment by moment, with relentless dedication. So remember this, talent will only get you so far, but consistency will carry you all the way. Show up even when you don't feel like it. Work even when it is hard. Persist even when progress is slow. Small repeated actions compound into extraordinary results. Talent shines, but consistency endures. Talent might excite, but consistency delivers. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency wins the race. It is the unstoppable force that turns dreams into reality, ideas into execution, and effort into achievement. Choose consistency over convenience. Choose discipline over desire. Choose commitment over comfort. Show up every day. Do the work. And eventually, results will follow in ways that talent alone could never achieve. Consistency beats talent every time because talent without action is wasted potential and acting. On without consistency is wasted energy. But together, consistency and effort create greatness that lasts, and that is the secret to winning in life. Obstacles are not accidents. They are not punishments, nor are they signs that you are on the wrong path. Obstacles are inevitable. They are the universe's way of testing your commitment, your determination, and your will to achieve. Every person who has ever succeeded has faced roadblocks, challenges, and moments when the world seemed to be conspiring against them. The difference between those who fail and those who succeed is how they respond to those obstacles. Obstacles are not here to stop you. They are here to reveal who you truly are. They are the measuring stick of your commitment. When the pain comes, when the rejection hits, when the setbacks pile up, that is when your dedication is truly tested. The question is not whether you will face obstacles, it is whether you will rise to meet them. Every obstacle presents a choice. You can see it as an excuse to quit, a signal that the dream is too big, or a proof that you are not capable. Or you can see it as a test, an opportunity to grow, and a challenge to rise above your previous limits. The people who achieve greatness understand this truth. Obstacles are unavoidable, but quitting is optional. Life will throw distractions, failures, criticism, and unexpected hardships at you constantly. Those who succeed are not immune to these trials. They simply refuse to be stopped by them. They understand that an obstacle is not the end of the road. It is the moment that separates the weak from the strong, the committed from the uncommitted, the dreamers from the doers. When you learn to see obstacles as tests, your mindset changes. Every setback becomes a stepping stone. Every challenge becomes fuel, and every difficulty becomes an opportunity to prove that your commitment is stronger than circumstance. Obstacles also reveal the depth of your vision. When the journey gets tough, it is easy to question why you started in the first place. Many people quit not because their goal was impossible, but because they lost sight of why they started. When commitment is rooted in a clear vision and a powerful purpose, obstacles cannot shake you. They are simply challenges that test the intensity of your desire, the strength of your will, and the resilience of your mindset. The person who knows exactly why they are on the path will endure the pain, push through the rejection, and keep moving forward, because giving up is not an option when the stakes are higher than temporary discomfort. Obstacles are the mirror that reflects your clarity of purpose. They expose whether your commitment is surface level or deeply rooted in your identity. Obstacles also teach resilience. The first time you face difficulty, it might feel overwhelming. The second time, it may feel unfair. But the third, fourth, and fifth time, something inside you changes. You learn that difficulty is normal, that struggle is expected, and that the only way forward is through perseverance. Every obstacle you overcome strengthens your ability to endure the next one. Every setback you survive builds your mental toughness, your confidence, and your skill to navigate challenges. The world is full of people who fail, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they crumble at the first sign of adversity. The people who rise above are those who see obstacles as temporary tests, not permanent barriers. They embrace the discomfort, endure the struggle, and use every challenge as a proving ground for their commitment. Obstacles also separate those who act from those who only dream. Dreams without resistance are illusions. A goal that never faces opposition is rarely significant. The universe has a way of testing whether your desire is strong enough to survive hardship. Those who are willing to fight through the pain, rejection, and difficulties are the ones who achieve the extraordinary. They understand that obstacles are not setbacks. They are setups for growth. Every problem you encounter is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, to improve, and to strengthen your resolve. They understand that the path to success is rarely smooth, and that the presence of obstacles is proof that they are on a meaningful journey. If the journey were easy, everyone would succeed. Obstacles make success exclusive to those who are relentless. Obstacles also force innovation. When the road is blocked, when resources are limited, when plans fall apart, you are challenged to think differently, to find new solutions, and to act creatively. Commitment is not just showing up, it's refusing to stop until you succeed. When faced with obstacles, you are pushed to dig deeper, work smarter, and discover ways to overcome what seemed impossible. Every obstacle is a lesson in problem solving, adaptability, and resilience. The more obstacles you face, the more capable you become, and the more unstoppable your momentum grows. Commitment is tested and strengthened when you refuse to be limited by circumstances. The more you overcome, the more you realize that obstacles were never enemies. They were teachers. Obstacles also expose your excuses. When life gets hard, it is easy to blame the situation, the people around you, or even yourself. But those who succeed take full ownership. They understand that excuses are temporary comforts for those unwilling to endure the struggle. Obstacles will reveal whether your commitment is superficial or profound. The person who stays committed sees every challenge as a reflection of their need to grow, and they respond with action, not complaint. Excuses may feel like relief, but they lead to stagnation, mediocrity, and regret. Tests are meant to reveal your true character. Are you someone who adapts, fights, and perseveres, or are you someone who folds when the first difficulty appears? Commitment is proven when you refuse to let excuses dictate your progress. Obstacles also build faith in yourself. Each time you overcome difficulty, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. You begin to see that your potential is not defined by your comfort or by the absence of struggle. It is defined by your persistence, endurance, and courage. Life will never get easier. Challenges will always arise. But every obstacle you face and overcome teaches you that you can handle more than you thought. Each test of commitment becomes a badge of strength, a symbol of resilience, and a stepping stone to even greater achievements. Those who fear obstacles never grow. Those who avoid struggle never evolve. And those who quit never taste the fullness of their potential. Finally, obstacles remind you that success is earned. Nothing worth having is given freely, and everything worth achieving will be challenged. If the journey were smooth, the victory would be meaningless. Obstacles separate the ordinary from the extraordinary, the weak from the powerful, and the dreamers from the doers. When you view obstacles as tests of commitment, you take control of your path. You understand that difficulty is not denial. It is the proving ground where your dedication is forged. Each challenge is an opportunity to demonstrate to yourself that your commitment is stronger than the pain, stronger than the doubt, stronger than the fear. The world will test you, but it is your response to those tests that determines whether you will rise or fall. So remember this: obstacles are inevitable, but quitting is optional. Every barrier, setback, and difficulty is not a signal to stop. It is a test to see how badly you want it, how committed you truly are, and how far you are willing to go to achieve your vision. When life pushes back, push harder. When doors close, find another way. When failure strikes, learn, adapt, and persist. Commitment is proven in the face of resistance. And the stronger your commitment, the more unstoppable you become. Obstacles are not your enemy. They are the fire in which your strength, resilience, and dedication are forged. Face them, embrace them, overcome them, and you will discover that nothing can stand in the way of a person who refuses to quit. Vision is more than just seeing a goal. It is the fire that fuels your commitment when everything else tries to pull you back. Without a vision, commitment is weak, shallow, and easily broken. You can have discipline, desire, talent, or even support, but without a clear picture of what you are working toward, you will inevitably lose focus, get distracted, and eventually give up. Vision is the lens through which you see the future, the compass that directs your choices, and the fuel that keeps you moving when the journey gets hard. It is the reason why some people endure years of struggle, sacrifice, and pain without losing momentum, while others equally capable quit at the first sign of difficulty. Your vision is your purpose made tangible, your why made visible. And it is the single most powerful driver of lasting commitment. Commitment is easy when life is smooth and the rewards are visible. Anyone can stay dedicated when everything is going their way. But the moment obstacles arise, setbacks happen, and progress seems invisible, most people falter. That is why a vision is essential. It keeps you anchored when feelings, circumstances, and emotions are unreliable. A strong vision acts like a lighthouse in the middle of a storm, guiding you through confusion, fear, and uncertainty. It reminds you why you started, why you endure, and why giving up is not an option. When your vision is compelling enough, it overrides temporary discomfort, exhaustion, and distraction. It becomes bigger than your excuses, bigger than your fear, bigger than your doubts. Vision is the internal engine that keeps your commitment running even when the world seems determined to stop you. Vision is also a measure of your potential. The clarity of your vision determines the intensity of your effort. The more vivid and compelling your vision, the more you are willing to endure, sacrifice, and persist. People with weak or unclear visions drift through life, inconsistent in their actions and easily swayed by external circumstances. But those with a powerful vision have a built-in GPS. They know exactly where they are going, what steps they must take, and what is non-negotiable on their journey. Their commitment is unwavering because it is tied to something deeper than momentary emotions. It is tied to a future they can see, feel, and believe in. Vision is not just seeing the destination, it is feeling it in your soul so intensely that quitting is inconceivable. A vision fuels commitment because it transforms the grind into meaning. Every hour of effort, every early morning, every late night, every moment of sacrifice becomes purposeful when you are working towards something that matters deeply. Without vision, commitment feels like punishment, routine, or obligation. With vision, even the hardest work feels like progress. Even the setbacks feel like lessons, and even the struggles feel like part of a story you are writing for yourself. Vision converts mundane actions into milestones of growth. It gives you a reason to endure, a reason to persevere, and a reason to push past exhaustion, doubt, and fear. It is the emotional and mental connection that makes every sacrifice worth it. Without it, commitment is temporary, shallow, and vulnerable. Vision also inspires creativity and innovation. When you have a vivid picture of your desired future, obstacles no longer intimidate you. They challenge you to find new ways to achieve your goals. Vision stretches your mind beyond current limitations and forces you to think strategically, creatively, and relentlessly. You begin to see solutions where others see problems, opportunities where others see setbacks, and potential where others see impossibility. Your vision becomes a map that guides every choice and action. It is not just about wanting something. It is about seeing exactly how it can exist, understanding the steps required, and refusing to settle for anything less. That clarity fuels commitment because it gives you direction, purpose, and a relentless drive to act until your vision becomes reality. Another way vision fuels commitment is by giving you emotional resilience. Challenges are inevitable, but your connection to your vision strengthens your mental and emotional fortitude. When you know exactly why you are enduring, the pain becomes bearable, the struggles become lessons, and the setbacks become temporary obstacles rather than permanent failures. A clear vision allows you to maintain hope when others give up, to persist when motivation wanes, and to take risks when caution tempts you to stand still. Vision creates a sense of inevitability. It tells your mind that your future is worth the present struggle, and that the pain you feel today is the foundation of the success you will enjoy tomorrow. Vision also shapes your identity. The more you see yourself achieving, the more you act like the person capable of achieving it. When your vision is strong, your commitment is not just about the goal. It is about becoming someone worthy of that goal. Your vision forces you to level up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You begin to think bigger, act bolder, and endure longer. Your habits align with your vision. Your decisions reflect the life you are building. Your relationships, Your work ethic and your daily actions all bend toward the realization of that future. Vision fuels commitment because it transforms your entire being, not just your behavior. You are no longer acting sporadically. You are living intentionally in alignment with your dream. Finally, vision fuels commitment because it makes success personal, tangible, and non-negotiable. When you can see it clearly, when you can feel it deeply, when you can imagine yourself living it every day, nothing can stop you. Fear loses its power. Doubt loses its grip. Obstacles become stepping stones. People may try to discourage you. Circumstances may push back, and failures may temporarily shake your confidence. But your vision keeps your commitment alive. The stronger your vision, the more relentless your pursuit. Vision gives you purpose when the world feels meaningless. Vision gives you drive when motivation fades. Vision gives you clarity when confusion dominates. And when commitment is fueled by vision, quitting is no longer an option. It is impossible. So if you want to stay committed, you must see clearly. You must define your vision in vivid detail. You must connect emotionally to what you want to create, achieve, or become. Your vision must be compelling enough that it outweighs the temptation to quit, the desire for comfort, and the distractions of life. When your vision is strong, your commitment is automatic. When you know exactly why you are on this path, very challenge, setback, and struggle becomes fuel. Every day of effort becomes meaningful. Every sacrifice becomes purposeful. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity. Vision is not just the destination. It is the force that sustains your journey. Without vision, commitment fades. With vision, commitment becomes unstoppable. Your future begins in your mind first. The moment you see it, feel it, and believe it, your commitment will ignite. Let your vision drive you relentlessly forward. Let it push you to endure, to sacrifice, to persist, and to conquer. Let it guide your decisions, shape your identity, and fuel every action until your dreams are no longer imagined. They are real. Vision fuels commitment, and commitment turns vision into reality. Accountability is one of the most powerful forces you can harness on your journey towards success, yet it is often overlooked. Most people believe that commitment alone is enough, that if they make a decision to work toward a goal, it will be sufficient to carry them through. But the truth is, human nature is flawed. Motivation wanes, distractions multiply, and excuses are always ready to appear. That is why accountability is essential. Accountability acts as a safeguard for your commitment, a mirror that reflects your actions, and a force that keeps you honest with yourself and others. When you hold yourself accountable, you stop making excuses, you stop rationalizing failure, and you stop hiding from the truth of your actions. Accountability is not punishment. It is empowerment. It strengthens commitment because it demands that your intentions and your actions align consistently without compromise. Accountability begins with ownership. You cannot rely on others to track your progress or push you when you are not willing to hold yourself accountable first. It starts with recognizing that your life is the sum of your choices and that every failure or success is ultimately yours to own. This realization is both liberating and terrifying. It is liberating because it puts the power in your hands. You are not at the mercy of circumstances or people. Your destiny is shaped by your actions. It is terrifying because it exposes the truth. No one else will make you succeed. No one will enforce your discipline or fight for your vision for you. Commitment without accountability is fragile, but commitment backed by accountability is unshakable. Accountability strengthens the foundation of your dedication by ensuring that excuses, delays, and half-hearted efforts are no longer tolerated, not by anyone, and most importantly, not by yourself. Accountability also multiplies results by introducing external checks. When you are accountable to someone, a coach, a mentor, a friend, or even a community, you are less likely to skip the hard work, procrastinate, or abandon your goals when it gets uncomfortable. Human beings are wired to respond to expectations, especially those set by others who matter to us. When someone else is tracked in your progress, when someone else is expecting results, your commitment is reinforced. You do not rely solely on fleeting motivation or emotional highs. You develop consistency because accountability adds pressure and structure, and pressure produces action. The presence of accountability magnifies your commitment because it transforms abstract intentions into tangible obligations. You are no longer floating in a world of ideas, you are acting in a world of results. Accountability also creates clarity. When you are accountable, you define goals, set timelines, and measure progress. You know exactly what you are responsible for, and you cannot hide behind vagueness or ambiguity. Ambition without clarity is often wasted effort, but accountability demands specificity. You are forced to ask yourself, what exactly am I doing today to move closer to my goal? How will I measure my progress? What are the consequences if I do not deliver? This clarity transforms commitment from a vague hope into a structured, measurable action plan. Accountability provides the framework within which your dedication thrives because it turns intention into execution, thought into action, and desire into tangible results. Another critical aspect of accountability is the emotional drive it creates. When someone else is invested in your success, when they are aware of your goals and your progress, you experience an added layer of motivation and pressure. Letting yourself down is disappointing, but letting someone else down is powerful. It triggers a response deep within you, a desire to rise, prove yourself, and honor your commitments. This emotional component of accountability cannot be replicated by internal motivation alone. Accountability challenges you to show up, to follow through, and to refuse to settle for mediocrity. It forces you to act even when you feel tired, distracted, or uncertain, because the cost of failure is no longer abstract. It is personal. Your reputation, your relationships, and your integrity become intertwined with your commitment, making it stronger and more resilient. Accountability also exposes weaknesses and blind spots. No one can see everything about themselves, and no one can anticipate every mistake or failure. When you are accountable to someone else, you receive feedback, perspective, and insight that you might not have on your own. This feedback highlights where your commitment may be lacking, where you are rationalizing, or where you are not living up to your potential. It is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. Accountability does not coddle you. It challenges you. It strengthens your commitment because it removes illusions, replaces excuses with responsibility, and demands that you act with integrity, even when no one else is watching. Accountability also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, full of setbacks, distractions, and failures. The commitment to your goals will be tested repeatedly. And without accountability, it is easy to drift, delay, or quit. Accountability provides a tether, a link to your purpose and your commitments when the path becomes difficult. It reminds you that you are responsible for your own growth and that each moment of struggle is an opportunity to prove your dedication. The more you hold yourself accountable, the more your commitment becomes a habit, and the harder it is to abandon your goals because consistency is reinforced by both internal discipline and external expectation. Moreover, accountability strengthens integrity. When you commit to someone else, when you declare your goals and promises publicly or privately, you are forced to act in alignment with your words. This alignment between word and action reinforces self-respect, self-confidence, and commitment. Each time you follow through on a promise, each time you act according to your stated goals, your belief in yourself grows. Accountability ensures that your actions reflect your intentions. Without accountability, intentions can remain empty. With accountability, your intentions transform into results, and your commitment becomes tangible, visible, and undeniable. Finally, accountability teaches the principle of momentum. Commitment is not built in bursts, it is built in steady, relentless action. When you are accountable, you cannot afford long lapses of inactivity. You cannot let the days slide by. You must show up, report progress, and stay on track. This builds momentum because each small action company compounds. Each completed task fuels the next, And each day of accountability reinforces your commitment. Momentum is the invisible force that carries you through hard days, challenges, and setbacks. And accountability is the structure that ensures that momentum never stops. So if you want to stay committed, you must embrace accountability. Hold yourself to your word. Seek others who will challenge you, check your progress, and push you beyond what you believe is possible. Define your goals clearly. Measure your results and refuse to rationalize or delay. Accountability strengthens commitment by transforming intention into action, creating pressure that drives effort, revealing weaknesses that demand improvement, and producing momentum that carries you through adversity. Commitment is strengthened when you cannot hide, when you cannot make excuses, and when your actions are fully aligned with your goals. Accountability is not optional for those who want lasting success. It is essential. It is the framework that turns discipline into results, desire into execution, and dreams into reality. The stronger your accountability, the stronger your commitment becomes, and the further you will rise. Momentum is one of the most underrated forces in life. Most people underestimate it, dismiss it, or fail to harness it. Yet it is one of the most powerful products of commitment. Momentum is the natural result of consistent effort, of daily discipline, of showing up when it is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or exhausting. Commitment alone is the foundation, but momentum is the engine that propels you forward at a pace that feels unstoppable. When you commit fully to a goal, a vision, or a purpose, you begin to build this invisible force. It starts small sometimes, almost imperceptible. But as you maintain your commitment, as you push forward day after day, week after week, month after month, momentum begins to accumulate. And once it reaches a critical point, it carries you through obstacles, setbacks, and doubts with a force that makes you feel unstoppable. Commitment creates momentum because the energy you invest compounds over time. And every action you take reinforces the motion toward your goals. Momentum is the key difference between those who drift through life and those who achieve extraordinary results. Many people have ambition, talent, and potential, but they lack the momentum that comes from sustained commitment. They start strong, but enthusiasm fades, obstacles appear, and they are unable to keep pushing. Momentum does not appear overnight. It is not instantaneous. It is built on the foundation of unwavering dedication, repeated effort, and resilience in the face of adversity. Every time you resist the temptation to quit, every time you push past fatigue, every time you take action when others would rest, you add energy to your momentum. The longer you maintain your commitment, the more unstoppable that momentum becomes, and the easier it is to continue moving forward. This is why the people who succeed rarely do so in bursts. They succeed because they are relentless, and momentum compounds their efforts exponentially. Momentum also amplifies your results. Small, consistent actions, when compounded over time, produce outcomes far beyond what initial effort might suggest. When you commit fully, each day's work is not isolated. It builds on the previous day, reinforces your habits, and creates exponential growth. Momentum turns effort into acceleration. You begin to move faster, act with more confidence, and respond to challenges with a strength you didn't have at the beginning. Momentum does not just make progress possible, it makes progress inevitable. When you are in motion, it becomes difficult for setbacks to stop you because momentum carries you through the uncomfortable, the frustrating, and the exhausting. You no longer rely solely on motivation. It is replaced by a force that keeps you moving whether you feel like it or not. Momentum also reshapes your mindset. Commitment alone requires discipline, but momentum turns discipline into flow. When you are in motion, when your efforts are compounded by consistency, it creates a sense of inevitability. You begin to believe in your ability to achieve because your past actions provide evidence that you are capable. Every completed task, every small victory, every step forward reinforces the belief that you are moving in the right direction. Momentum builds confidence because T is tangible proof of your commitment. It is the visible manifestation of your perseverance, and it fuels further action. The more momentum you have, the easier it becomes to maintain focus, take risks, and push past fear. Momentum is both a physical and mental force. It propels your actions while strengthening your belief in yourself. Momentum also reduces the friction of progress. When you start something new, the initial steps are always the hardest. Doubt is highest, fear is strongest, and the resistance to effort feels overwhelming. But once you commit and begin to take consistent action, you build inertia. Momentum makes it easier to continue, to show up, and to take the next step. The energy required to act decreases not because the work becomes easy, but because the force of your commitment is already in motion. Momentum carries you past hesitation, laziness, and distraction. It transforms your daily choices into automatic actions that align with your vision. The more consistent your commitment, the stronger the momentum, and the easier it becomes to sustain progress even when challenges arise. Momentum also influences those around you. A person in motion inspires motion in others. When you are fully committed and consistently taking action, momentum is visible to anyone watching. It commands respect, attention, and sometimes even influence. People are drawn to momentum. They sense energy, dedication, and inevitability. Momentum can create opportunities that talent alone cannot unlock because it signals seriousness, persistence, and results. Others are more likely to support, invest in, or collaborate with someone who is in motion than with someone who is still deciding whether to start. Commitment creates momentum, and momentum naturally attracts the resources, allies, and opportunities that reinforce your journey. Momentum also helps you endure the inevitable obstacles and failures. Life will push back. Challenges will arise. Doubt will creep in. But when you have momentum, the force of your ongoing actions carries you through these moments. Momentum allows you to persist even when you are tired, discouraged, or uncertain. It turns setbacks into temporary deviations rather than permanent stops. Momentum ensures that progress is continuous, even when progress feels slow. Commitment alone may allow you to endure, but momentum ensures you accelerate past the barriers that might have stopped you early in your journey. Momentum transforms resistance into fuel, adversity into opportunity, and struggle into reinforcement. Momentum is also the key to mastery. No one becomes exceptional overnight. Mastery requires repetition, consistency, and ongoing effort over time. Momentum ensures that your commitment compounds. Each action you take adds to your skill, knowledge, and capability. Over time, what once seemed impossible becomes achievable. What once required immense effort becomes natural. And what once took courage becomes habit. Momentum excel. It rates your growth because it transforms the sum of your small actions into a force powerful enough to overwhelm obstacles and limitations. Those who understand the power of momentum know that success is not an event. It is the inevitable result of relentless, consistent action over time. Finally, momentum is what turns commitment into inevitability. Commitment alone is the spark. It is the decision to act, the willingness to endure, and the promise to yourself that you will not quit. But momentum is the force that turns that spark into a wildfire. Momentum compounds your effort, builds your confidence, accelerates your progress, reduces friction, inspires others, and carries you through challenges. Once you are in motion, it becomes almost impossible to stop. Momentum is the reward of commitment, and it is the force that transforms ordinary action into extraordinary results. Those who harness it, cultivate it, and maintain it will achieve more in a few years than those who rely solely on talent, luck, or fleeting motivation could achieve in a lifetime. Commitment creates momentum, and momentum creates success that is unstoppable, inevitable, and extraordinary. So, if you want to stay committed, understand this. Start, keep going, show up every day, do the work consistently, endure the setbacks, learn from failure, and push through fatigue. Each action fuels momentum. Each small win accelerates your progress. Each moment of persistence compounds your strength. Commitment alone starts the journey, but momentum carries you across the finish line. Do not underestimate it. Nurture it, protect it, build it with discipline, focus, and relentless action. Momentum is the invisible engine of success, and it only exists for those who commit fully and refuse to stop. Now, I want you to take a moment and look at yourself honestly. How many times have you started something with fire in your heart only to let distractions, fear, or doubt pull you away? How many times have you allowed talent, opportunity, or potential to be wasted because commitment faltered? Today, I am telling you that it does not have to be that way. Your destiny, your dreams, your future, they are not waiting for motivation, luck, or comfort. They are waiting for one thing: unwavering, relentless, unbreakable commitment. Every step you take, every decision you make, every action you refuse to postpone builds momentum, builds discipline, and builds the life you are capable of owning. There are no shortcuts. There are no guarantees. There is only the work you do, the consistency you maintain, and the courage to keep going when everything inside you wants to quit. The question is simple. Will you rise, or will you let your potential fade into what might have been? Think about what commitment really means. It means showing up when you do not feel like it. It means taking action when no one is watching. It means enduring setbacks, criticism, and failure without losing faith in your own ability. It means holding yourself accountable even when excuses whisper louder than your goals.